Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Prichard. It has been a big week in the wrestling world, especially in the World Wrestling Entertainment universe. They call it the WWE universe, with Wrestlemania taking place. And this week's show, we're going to talk about the entire card. We're going to talk about Wrestlemania and pretty much my thoughts and the observations that many people made about Wrestlemania this past year. And tell you what I think about what they did and their plans for the future. WrestleMania 26, a huge event, and on paper looked like it was possibly going to be one of the best WrestleManias of all time. Without doubt, had the main event, the big ticket seller, I would have to say that the single main attraction of the entire event being the Undertaker, with his undefeated streak at stake against the main event, the showstopper, the one and only Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, with Shawn's career on the line. Stipulation being that if Shawn lost, Shawn would retire. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But first, I'd like to just kind of talk about the card overall, the overall presentation of WrestleMania 26. I sat back and I tried to watch it objectively. I tried to just kind of watch it as a fan because I, frankly, was quite excited. I was really looking forward to seeing what the WWE was going to do on their biggest day of the year, the biggest card of the year, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Those guys delivered. The emotion, the passion that was in that match, it came through, and that match truly delivered. Kind of go down the card. I was so compelled and so moved by the event and the emotion I felt from it. Sent off an email to some folks up there at WWE. You knew when they spoke. JR is probably the best play-by-play man that's ever been in the business, sans Gordon Soley. JR told a story. JR had passion. But he also had a very distinguishable accent. He had a distinguishable voice. There was no mistaking. Good old JR was talking to you. You knew it was going to be JR. And then Taz with his New York accent. I can't do New York very well, so I won't even try. Then, of course, Bradshaw with his loud, boisterous Texas accent. You could tell you didn't have to see them to know who was speaking. A story told in play-by-play and in commentary can certainly enhance a match. I'm sorry, I left out Jerry Lawler. Jerry was in there too. From there we go, Triple H and Sheamus. Now again, I'm glad to see Sheamus in a match at WrestleMania. Thought Sheamus did a good job with Triple H. I thought Triple H did a good job in not guzzling and beating the hell out of Sheamus. I think Triple H did his best there that he could do to make Sheamus look good. And I think Sheamus did everything within his power to make himself look good. Let's see. Next, we had Rey Mysterio and CM Punk. CM Punk, one of my favorite characters on the shows right now. I love his character, man. I love the straight edge gimmick. It's entertaining. I think he does it well. There's a reason he does it well, because he believes it. And then you got Rey Mysterio. How can you not like Rey? Rey's a tremendous talent. But these guys just went out and didn't have enough time to tell a story. Didn't tell a story. It was kind of a high spot fest. So from there, Vince McMahon, chairman of WWE, against Bret Hart. In Bret Hart's day, nobody could touch Bret. Bret was great talent. Bret would work so hard, and Bret would continue to work until he got that crowd. Bret would work until he got you. And he got you by telling a story in the ring. And he got you by being emotionally in that match. Vince, on the other hand, is arguably the greatest heel the business has ever seen. And Vince doesn't argue to be the world's greatest worker. On the outside, you have three young people that can actually do physicality and can do things, and Harry Smith and PJ and Natalie, with 60-year-old Hart surrounding the ring, who can't do anything. In the ring, you got a 54-year-old Brett, who suffered a stroke and hasn't been in the ring since. And Brett really can't do anything. Now you've got Bret Hart in with the chairman, while his wife is running for Senate in Connecticut, taking chair shots. Some to the back of the head, to his back, all over his body. And they were brutal chair shots. The only emotion I could really elicit was relief when this thing was finally over. Follow that up with a world title match with Edge and Chris Jericho. Yeah, I thought the guys had a good match. Jericho defeated Edge. He kept the title. And Edge coming back, I don't think that Edge really needs a title right now. Let him run for a little while. Edge is fresh back from an injury. Now let him get well, let him get his ring rust off and get back in the groove. Cena Batista came out, and I thought they had a pretty good match, really. I love Batista in his new role as a heel. I think Batista's a very believable, mean, nasty heel. And I think it comes across that Dave genuinely doesn't like, he doesn't like the crowd, man. He doesn't like the fans. That's easy for Dave to do because he's really a shy guy deep down, and I think Dave plays that role to perfection. John Cena winning the title, a great WrestleMania moment for John. I just don't think John Cena needs the World Championship or WWE Championship, whatever we're calling that one. I think John Cena's a star enough on his own, and it just kind of felt unnecessary. I think that it would have done a lot more to have Batista defeat Cena and Batista continue to reign and kind of shove that title up everyone's butt for a little while longer. So now, we've got the main event, the match everybody was waiting for, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. I loved the simplicity of the entrances in a lot of ways, man. And to see those two guys, both of whom started shortly after I did. I've been with both of them through their entire career. It was a joy to watch. It's very emotional to watch. I didn't want Undertaker to have his streak ended, and I certainly never wanted Shawn to retire. The outcome being Undertaker beating Shawn, I think was the right one. Again, selfishly, I didn't want his Undertaker's streak to end. And, I think Shawn's kind of ready to hang it up for a little while. Head on back to the ranch and be with his kids and his wife and chill out. He certainly deserves it. And that, it's one time when you get to see a great match, great outcome. It was perfectly done with no music at the end after Undertaker left and Shawn walking out with no music. I thought was a great send-off. So, the high point of the night, at least it was in the right place. Thank God they didn't put that thing on earlier because no one could have followed it. And, there's not much you can really say about it other than that was a great match. Now, for those watching at home, I got to tell you the biggest pop of the entire evening in my house was as Shawn waved goodbye at the top of the ramp. An advertisement came up for Howard Stern porn. And all kinds of great names for the different porn selections that were coming up on demand on your cable system. And it went on for about 30 seconds, and then they cut back to an outside shot of the Arizona Stadium, and then cut quickly to generic cable commercials. So I thought the porn was strategically placed. That was very interesting in my house, and everybody got a big kick out of that. Even the kids not even having a clue what the hell they were reading. Great finish at the end with Taker and Shawn. Hats off to them. Nothing bad to say about that. So that's my WrestleMania review, and next week we'll be talking about kind of the wrestling business overall. Talk about TNA, and I'm not really quite sure exactly what the hell they're doing, but we'll talk about it a little bit. And the future direction of WWE from the post-WrestleMania week matches and shows, and kind of give our predictions moving forward. And you guys have a good one. And I'm Bruce Prichard, and this is something to wrestle with. Bruce Prichard.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.